Welcome back to another episode on Journey to Authenticity, the podcast designed to help you become your true authentic self, create a clear vision for life, and ultimately step into a life of transformation. I'm your host, Braiden Belnap. I'm a transformational life coach, speaker, and entrepreneur dedicated to helping you create this as a reality. But what if you feel insecure on the inside or the outside, and you don't feel like you can really create a community that surrounds you with love and care and uplifts you in the most beautiful way? That's exactly why we have Kristi Fri joining us today, because she's accomplished just this. She, of course, will highlight in this podcast the things that she's going through now, that she's working through, but on a deep sense of confidence, she has it. And she's created a brand called Naked Pineapple that helps you accomplish confidence on the outside. The most beautiful part about this is as she built herself on the inside to the outside, she's created this brand and she's developed an amazing community and speaks around how to develop community for yourself so that you truly can create the dreams in your life. With that in mind, welcome to the show, Kristi.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely. I've been watching your journey from afar and you stand for so much goodness. So I'm really excited to, one, benefit myself, but I'm excited for everybody to hear your message today.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. It's been really fun. It's been a great journey. There's been lots of highs and lows, and overall, we've met some incredible people, and that's really why we started it, was to really just elevate and meet great people, like-minded people, self-care, self-love, build confidence. I mean, the world needs that, right?
Absolutely. It's what I love, and I can clearly tell you're living your purpose. And we'll start this podcast off strong and jump into it, but there's a difference between passion and purpose, right? And you just encompass like the people. Purpose, passion doesn't get you up in the morning. You look forward to it at the end of the day when you get to do your hobby, have some fun. But Purpose is what wakes you up when you're building that community of people and you're making a major impact.
Absolutely. And it takes courage to follow that. You know, purpose, it can be there, but to execute it is really what matters most.
Absolutely. So what inspired starting Naked Pineapple and jumping into the esthetician world initially?
So I've always just really loved taking care of people. I've always been just a giver and, nurturing and wanting, people to feel good from the inside out. Even from when I was a teenager, I would do everybody's hair and makeup. And, my sister and my family are all very nurturing and loving. So it just kind of fell into naturally for me to want to get into something like that, whether it was nursing or a doctor even, or psychology. And I'd landed on aesthetics.
You mixed all of those in one.
Yeah, absolutely. I've done life coaching. I've done a lot of self-development, and being a master esthetician just has been my superpower. So it's been really fun to just have the opportunity on a one-on-one basis to be so very transparent and personable and one-on-one with people where it's just intimate. I get to really see people for who they are, whether they're struggling, whether they're doing well, what they really want to work on. Every day when people walk in, I'm like, hey, so what's new in your life? And there's always something. So it's been really good. I put myself through school. I had a lot of hard work, consistency, and I did that for 23 years, had 2 kids. Now I have 7. And by the time I was 25, I had a pretty thriving aesthetics career. And then when I married Ryan, we are both entrepreneurs. And so we just wanted to create something magical together. So we started thinking about what we could do. And we were in Hawaii one year, and Hawaii is so fun, and all the pineapples and all just like the culture and the vibe. And it's just very nostalgic. So we were like, what if we did like a product with pineapples? And then we learned how good they are. They're so beneficial for you just naturally. So they have like anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, and then the natural enzymes in pineapple. And then I wanted you to feel confident in your naked skin. So we called it Naked Pineapple, and we have 5 products.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. This is more of a curious question. Would you say that you were born to be an entrepreneur, or did you become an entrepreneur?
I would say I was born to be an entrepreneur. I tried working for people, and I found myself like outgrowing people really quickly. to where I was just like, wait, what are you doing? Don't treat people like that. And that doesn't work. And then as I would stand up for myself or stand up for other people, it would be threatening and I would get fired. So I definitely felt from a young age. And I mean, even when I was 14, I was mowing lawns and I knew I was going to be an entrepreneur. I was not meant to just like follow the crowd.
And what fun in following a perfectly paved road.
Yeah.
Why not go off the good road? And maybe it's tough sometimes, not maybe, it will be tough at times.
Yeah.
But when you reach the top, and there's no top, right? There's always another mountain to climb.
Right. Like it becomes your floor, your ceiling, and then your floor, and then your ceiling, and then your floor. And we continue to grow. And I believe the entrepreneurs are here to push us to grow. You know, if there's nothing wrong with working for corporate or working for another company, we need those people too. And we need people to kind of like think outside the box a little bit and ruffle people's feathers and create new businesses. In Utah, we have such incredible people. And I wonder why. Like, why do we have such incredible entrepreneurs here in Utah?
It's a good question. Yeah, we do have a blessing in that. And the one thing, you really just hit on it. It's a concept that I talk to is like build your life almost like the government. Like, how does the government's economy thrive?
Mm-hmm.
Build your own economy the same way.
Yeah.
And that's really the entrepreneurship spirit, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm always like, it's like a village. Like, let's just all live on a compound and we can all have our jobs and all do our trades. And I don't know. I feel like we live in a really interesting world anymore where, you know, we are constantly being challenged in like technology, even, you know, like something like that is out of my comfort zone, but I'm forced to learn how to do it.
Absolutely.
So
coming back to your childhood per se, when did you, and maybe it was beyond childhood, you started your esthetician business and became successful. When did you find esthetician? I don't know if that's the right terminology.
Yeah, it is. I would say I started going to an esthetician when I was 16, and she was awesome. I just really admired her and adored her, and she was so talented, and she just kind of took me under her wing, and I started going to her every month, and I just decided that that's what I wanted to do. I graduated high school 6 months early because I was just so eager to grow up and, you know, take on adult problems, but yeah, it was really good. And I've loved it and I've stuck with it. I mean, it hasn't been an easy journey. I mean, people think, oh, you know, she's successful, so I can do it. But for the first 2 years, it was a grind.
And it's okay to grind sometimes to get to your dream, right?
Yeah, it's better when you're, you know, younger than older, I think.
Absolutely. It's time to work hard. And you have seasons of life,
Mm-hmm.
right? Spring, you work really hard. Like the flowers are growing. Summer, you usually grind a little bit more. Like, okay, I've learned, I've developed. Now it's time to go execute and get the fruits and the vegetables developed. And then you have fall and you get to slow down and you get to enjoy the fruits of your labor. And some point in your life, if you've done it well, you're probably going to have a winter where it's really slow, but you get to go teach and mentor people.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm sure you're finding yourself in a different place than spring now with all the hard work you've done.
Yes, and I love to teach. I do. I think education is key. We're all just, you know, starving to learn and to grow. And I mean, that's what makes us vulnerable and, you know, human, is having the ability to soften and say, I don't know, or teach me. And, you know, you can't expect everybody to know how to do everything. And that's why we need each other. And human connection is a huge reason why I started Naked Pineapple. Because the world is hurting and we deserve to feel like we can be seen and heard and loved. And a lot of people don't even know how to take care of themselves, which is an odd concept, but it's very true.
Very true. And we see it on a day-to-day. I see it as a coach on a day-to-day basis of what people are struggling with. And you want to help everybody.
Yeah.
And that's why we do what we do, is we do want to help everybody, and the people have to choose to be helped.
True. Yeah. I mean, my kids are so awesome. I have 4 children and they just inspire us every day, and they're all thriving and they all work so hard. And we're so grateful for that, you know, because it's not easy being a parent. Being a parent and being an entrepreneur are like, wow, because it's really easy to lose track of time and to delegate and to make sure that I have a balanced pie.
And taking care of you and taking care of your relationships.
Yeah, absolutely.
So much. So when you started to go to the esthetician at 16, was it just because you wanted to go have a nice face mask, facial, or was there an underlying thing that you started to go to the esthetician?
Yeah, it was just, nothing fancy for my eyebrows.
That's fair.
I just wanted to go and get my eyebrows done. And she was very strict about, being on a schedule and consistency. And that's kind of how I am anyways. And that's how I've trained a lot of my clients, because that's when you get the best results, right? I always say eyebrows are like kids. They need structure.
Oh, they are. And mine grow like nothing else, and it hurts. And it hurts a lot less when I'm doing it consistently.
Good. Yeah.
So.
It's been fun. And really at the end of the day, I did a lot of like nutrition and health and wellness. Like it wasn't all just beauty, a lot of it was from the inside out and internally. And because that's really when you're going to feel the best, is when you feel the best inside. And
the reason I ask is, and I'm sure being a teenager can be hard, right? I mean, I thankfully, it sounds like you thankfully had good skin. It's not to say that when you're having an underlying issue like acne or something like that, it doesn't mean that you have bad skin. You just have to work through it, right? But insecurities can show up on the outside or inside. Was there ever times where you struggled through that yourself?
I wish I could tell you yes, but no. My skin has been naturally pretty easy to take care of for the most part. I guess I have good genetics, right? But I struggled with other things like, having to be so skinny or, so acne wasn't necessarily my struggle per se, but it was more like nutrition and health. And that obviously helps your skin, right? Because if you're not eating properly or drinking enough water, then your skin is going to show that. So I dove really deep into like nutrition and health, and that just kind of naturally took me down the path of skincare.
Sure.
Because really that's where it comes from. I mean, topically we can put a lot on our skin, but if we're not taking care of our skin internally, that's usually where acne shows up. So I really have assisted a lot of people with their skin in regards to that, or it being like, where they're too oily or they have uneven skin tone or melasma or things like that, which it causes a lot of insecurities for sure. And we have amazing technology now where we have lasers and chemical peels, and we have, so much skincare in the world where it's such a saturated market. But at the end of the day, like I really do assist people with their health and nutrition first and foremost before even their skincare regimen.
And that's a powerful thing, right?
Yeah.
And your messaging is really like, hey, let's build you from the inside out, like become beautiful on the inside and become beautiful on the outside. We can do both. I love that messaging. What are some of the struggles you had to overcome internally that's really helped you get to where you're at today?
What are some of the struggles that I have had internally?
Yeah. What are some of the insecurities or things that you had to really work on to give you the confidence to go help others do the same?
I've had to really have enough courage to believe that I was enough, and that it is something that I was capable of even doing, because, there's a lot of pressure sometimes to be somebody that can make a difference in people's lives. And I've always had an abundant mindset. But over the years, I've had death in my family. That's probably been some of my biggest struggles in life. Divorce. I've had, siblings pass away, and things like that have really just stirred me up inside and made me question life in and of itself, right?
Death is so hard. I can relate to that. We lost like 5 members in like a span of a year.
Yeah.
And that's tough. I haven't lost a sibling yet, and I can't even imagine what that's done to you. And I quite frankly don't want to experience it myself, because my siblings are my best friends.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, it was my brother who passed away, and it was his birthday yesterday, actually.
Well, happy birthday to your brother then. Perfect time to honor him.
Yeah, thank you. And he was somebody who just breathed a lot of life into me and made me believe that I could do anything. I mean, I would say my siblings and my parents, they've always just pushed us to be the best versions of ourselves. And at times it's been like a lot of pressure and it's been a little bit defeating. But at the same time, I mean, how else are we going to grow and make a difference if we're just settling or, playing small?
Absolutely. Well, off topic, but still on topic. What do you do to honor your brother on his birthday?
I took my husband to have surgery.
Okay. That can be a fair honor.
I know. I told Ryan, I'm like, really, babe? Like, out of all days, there's 365 days in the year. Like, this is the day. But, it's okay. My brother's awesome and I could celebrate him every day. And he's just been a really incredible role model to me in my life, even as a young kid. So
absolutely. So he breathed life into you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that you feel is there anything that he did in his lifetime that still impacts you on a day-to-day basis today?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, he was very charismatic. He was very successful at, touching people's lives, building relationships. You just couldn't but help fall in love with him as soon as you meet him. And he played football for the University of Utah. And that was probably like some of my favorite memories of him, is because I'm 8 years younger than him. So I could go and, be his little sister, and he was awesome.
Be the cheerleader in the stands.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
He was like a superhero.
Yeah, it's good. And it shows dreams are possible. I'm sure that did do a lot for you, is when you start to see close people next to you. Proximity is such a crucial part of life, not just in the entrepreneur space, in every space.
Absolutely.
But when you start to see people accomplish their dreams, it's like, why can't I go do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah. And he was very successful, at a young age. He didn't really have a ton of challenges when he was younger. So it wasn't until he got older that it started to crush him, though. I think that's what's hard about being a human being, right? Is like, say we have success at certain moments or certain times of life, and then they're gone. And then we have to find purpose again, right? And it's like the ability to let go of what no longer is there. And when the universe is like pushing us to elevate and grow, it's like the scariest thing in the whole entire world because it's out of our comfort zone. Even that's how I've been. So I've been slowly letting go of aesthetics and working with clients because Naked Pineapple has demanded so much more of me. And being able to do things like this, or go and teach or educate, or, do events, all those kinds of things, I've had to let go of what I'm comfortable and what I've been successful at. And it's scary. It's been actually really scary because it's out of my comfort zone.
What's been the thing that's pushed you the most recently, that's been out of your comfort zone?
I would have to say just that underlying knowing that this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and that it's okay to dive in and take risks even into something that I may not be super comfortable with, because I love to learn. I love to challenge myself. I love to grow. I can be vulnerable, and I can, ask you, like, give me some pointers, give me some tips on what I could be doing differently when I'm doing interviews. And I don't take it threatening. I genuinely want to become better. So I feel like I got a little stagnant with aesthetics. Like I could do your eyebrows with my eyes closed. So
absolutely, that would be scary, but I'll take you up on that. Just kidding.
Let's do this.
I already don't like getting my eyebrows done. Just kidding. That's fair. So was there any time, whether it was Naked Pineapple or your esthetician business, where maybe you didn't think about giving it up, but we have those thoughts when things get hard? Have you ever experienced that?
I'm pretty dang consistent. Like if I put my mind to something, like you better watch out. I'm going to make it work. Like hell or high water. Like even my mom, when I was younger, she was just like, oh my gosh, once you get something in your head, like you will not let it go. And I won't let it go. Because I know, like I said, it's a knowing. It's not like just like, oh, this is what I want to do, or this is a passion of mine. Like this is the universe saying, like, listen, lady, this is your path and this is what you get to do. And you get to step up to the occasion and make it work. And we're here to support you. So
that's powerful. And I think everybody needs to like rewind and listen to that again, because if anybody's listening to this, whether they believe in God or not, that's okay. You know. And if you believe in God, God definitely knows. Yeah. But the second best person to God is you.
Yeah.
Nobody else knows your life better than you. So when you know, why would you give up?
Absolutely. And it's been challenging. I mean, definitely my husband and I have fully done this all by ourselves, you know, and there's a lot of twists and turns and, you know, the economy. We started it before COVID. And then like once we kind of started going, COVID hit and we kind of were like, okay, that's not going to work. And then we kind of started to, you know, ramp up again. But yeah, I mean, we've had an interesting 5 years in the world with humans and technology and having to grow and get creative. And our culture has changed quite a bit.
After COVID, it's changed tremendously. I would agree with that. And it might be controversial, but I would actually say it was for the better.
Yeah.
It was obviously COVID was tough. People are being isolated, not having communication, not even be able to see their moms and dads and siblings at some point.
Well, the human connection, right?
It's so important.
Right.
And I'm almost grateful for that because it showed me the importance of actually building the relationship. Like I realized that it was fun to be able to go out and see my mom all the time and this, that, and the third. Or how it was actually fun to go to the office and connect with people and build relationships outside of just a screen. But in COVID, it's like, okay, work from home 100% of the time. Don't go see your friends. Don't go see your family. And I personally did still, but I saw how it affected so many other people.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty interesting for sure. I had driveway parties all the time.
Yeah.
My friend and I would have snacks and chalk and you stay on that side of the driveway and I stay on this side and we would just hang out and have fun and
it was a scary time, but you still find that way to build connection.
Yeah, and it forced us to change for sure.
Yeah.
As
quickly.
Humanity.
And now we still, a lot of the world gets to still benefit from work from home for the people that like it. So I think that it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah. And it forced podcasts to just blow up. The industry of podcasts just blew up. I love it. One of my favorite people in the whole entire world that I love to listen to is Eddie Pinheiro. Have you heard of him?
I haven't, no.
He's awesome.
Is it that The World Within guy?
Yes.
I love him. I listen to him all the time.
Yes.
Eddie, I didn't know his last name, so.
Yeah, he's like one of my favorites. So I listened to him a lot during COVID.
And good, right? And again, it's like, it doesn't take away that there was a lot of hardship at that time. I just think that there's a lot of good. And that's where I live my life, even in my own life. Like there's things that I've gone through. There's things that I still struggle with. One thing that I'm really trying to look within now is I don't remember my childhood. And so that's been an interesting consensus because in my head, sometimes I'm almost gaslighting myself like, well, did that really happen? Like you don't remember anything else. So why is that true? And so.
Or is it that you just didn't have anything too traumatic? Like you're saying, like, isn't it weird as human beings how we remember trauma, but we don't really remember the good? It's fascinating at times, even as a mom now, right? Like raising kids, it's hard because you remember the trauma. And so it's like really, it has to be so intentional to remember like the fun, the good times, like sitting down, talking about our day, the little things, right? Where like, why do we remember trauma, but not when it's good?
And that's a good question. And I'm so looking forward to overcoming this. And again, that kind of awareness really started in COVID time. Because we started looking at pictures and I'm like, I don't remember this. Like, what was that really like? But I also value it because it's a journey. It's another step of becoming, right? It was my ceiling and now it's my new mountain. So I'm looking forward to that. But good and bad and everything, right?
Yeah.
It's how we choose to see it that will ultimately determine our path forward.
Yeah. And I really do feel like we have to find joy in the little things, right? And death is a huge reminder of that. Like death is a huge reminder of not taking things for granted, you know, falling in love over and over again, saying you're sorry, admitting mistakes, like all of these things that make us human that we can't forget to do. Like we're not meant to just be perfect, and we're not meant to portray ourselves as perfect either, because where's the human connection in that, right? What makes me feel close to you is when you let me see you.
Absolutely. It's the human connection again. How can we just always relate to weather? It just doesn't work that way.
Mm-hmm.
How can we just always relate to hobbies? Like, what is it about you? Like, I want to know you for who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So pivoting in that direction, how have you ensured to, one, of course, emphasize your beauty with Naked Pineapple, but how have you consistently stayed true to yourself through this process and building the person that you're becoming?
I would say putting myself in check a lot of the times, and not taking things personal or having expectations, and just really truly believing like my core values, who I am as a person. Gratitude is a huge gift. That's really where the foundation of my life has really felt like it began, was with gratitude. So every day I try to not get in my head. I really just stay focused on who I am as a person, and remembering to be soft and quiet and not like be still too. Cause I'm a go-getter. I can go, 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 go. So my challenge is to be still and just breathe and not try to do too much, and just like put a pin in it when I need to put a pin in it, and ask for assistance and guidance. And I've definitely really leaned into personal development my whole entire life. It fascinates me. I love learning about it. I love learning about other people and what makes you tick and what makes you you. And so I think it's like, I really stay away from the surface bullshit.
Yeah, absolutely.
I honestly kind of don't even know how to do it. So when it comes to like skincare, I mean, that's beauty, right? It's just like, here, I have these skincare products. But as you can see, it's so much more than that for me.
What's the why?
Yeah, the why is definitely to make a difference and add value, and to bring connection and clarity and love to individuals who want to be the best versions of themselves. And we are not meant to do that alone. So
absolutely. And the beauty industry, I'm sure, as you know, has its pros and cons as well. And you've led into that pro. Like, hey, we're just not here to make you beautiful on the outside. We're here to help you go to that event and be confident. Mm-hmm. We're here to help you, if you're not going out, feeling beautiful yourself.
Yeah.
And that's really the foundation of beauty, is like doing it the right way. Let's help you build yourself so that on the outside, you're also beautiful.
Oh, so many people have so much self-doubt. It's so sad. It's so sad for me to watch people just not believe in themselves, or not see them the way that I see them, or, like you were sharing with me earlier. Is it okay for me to share that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like how you kind of lost yourself a little bit, right? And I think as humans, we all do that. We all get lost. And it's proximity, right? Like really surrounding ourselves with like-minded people who breathe life into us and raise us up and really challenge us to do more, be more, and grow. And I mean, you either are going to, step up to the occasion, or you're going to shrink. Those are really the only two choices, and I think as individuals, we outgrow people and we feel connected to people, and we come back in and around and through. And so I would say for me, like what's got me through a lot of that is just remembering why I'm doing this in the first place, and remembering that I have a higher calling and that abundance is my birthright. And it's something that I really, really do believe in. And abundance is, a fulfilling feeling. It's not just about money. It's about feeling like I'm living my life's purpose with love and grace and compassion.
Yeah, abundance it's everybody's birthright.
Yeah.
It's the choice to step into that.
Yeah.
So how can somebody start to become confident in their own naked skin?
I would say first and foremost is forgiveness. Forgiveness is a huge tool that we all forget about. And I would say forgiveness of self-doubt, forgiveness of shame, forgiveness of limiting beliefs, and just remembering that we have the capability of doing anything or being anyone. And we live in a world where, plastic surgery and so much just masks and fakeness and is just thrown at us on a day-to-day basis. And it gets really confusing where to have the balance with all of that, right?
Absolutely.
Because we're all just going to look like cats in the next 10 years anyways. So. So I think it's really important to also just enjoy what you're doing. Like if you're going to do it, you sure as heck want to enjoy what you're doing. So with Naked Pineapple, I really, really created a skincare line that is fun to use. You enjoy using it. It's something you look forward to doing. It's not like a burden or too overcomplicated. It's a reminder that, bliss is right at our fingertips. And we have the ability to stay present and be in the moment and not take that moment for granted that we get to have that sacred ritual of taking care of ourselves, and it's important. And everybody is different. Everybody takes care of themselves in different ways. So I really strive to kind of create that as a routine for you to remind yourself that it's okay to take the time for yourself. So.
And isn't that what important?
Yeah.
Right? Like when you do something, it makes you feel a certain type of way. Why not take care of yourself on a daily basis and make yourself feel good?
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know as a man, but as a woman, I was kind of conditioned to feel guilty about that. So for a really long time, it's been that, you're selfish if you're taking care of yourself and taking time for yourself. And how dare you, here you have a family and you have kids and, a husband and a house and all these people. And so it's kind of been one of those things that not until like recently that it's even just been accepted to be able to actually take care of yourself without it being selfish. I mean, so many of my clients over the years, they'll be 50 years old, a beautiful woman, raised her kids, empty nesters, and she'll be like, I've never had a facial before. And it's shocking.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And they deserve that.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
I would say as a man, I think it looks different, but I would say that everybody has an opinion. So from a very young age, when I went through my transformation, it was like, okay, how do I eat the best? How do I work out the best? How do I know more than anybody else? It was really an aspect that I wanted to become more to achieve more. I knew what I wanted financially at a young age. I knew what I wanted in business at a young age. I knew if you asked me what I wanted, I knew it. I could tell you in detail. I could paint the picture in your mind.
That is a gift. That is a beautiful gift that I don't think very many people have the luxury of experiencing that, especially at such a young age.
Yeah. With that, everybody had an opinion. Not all bad opinions, not all good opinions. It was just, I had to have the okayness that even the people that were closest to me that used to cheer me on, and now I'm really starting to go execute, it made them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So when you take care of yourself and you start to take action, whether it's working out, eating right, going to the movies by yourself because you just want some alone time and going having fun, it will make somebody uncomfortable. Because maybe they dreamt of doing that and they didn't.
Yeah.
Or they dreamt of it, they did it, and they quit. And so they impose their own limits upon you.
Yeah.
And thankfully, at a young age, I was able to see this is their limit, not mine.
Right.
So it was tough, right? I mean, even the people that were closest to me, letting friends go, stop listening to certain families' advice because you can clearly tell the limits are just shining through, and being okay with moving past that.
Yeah. Good for you. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. And I encourage everybody to do the same. It doesn't make it easy, though.
Right.
It's easier said than done.
Oh, absolutely. And you're always going to have, limiting beliefs at certain times of life, right? Like we're human. That's what we do. And at times that's why we need other people to be like, you got this. Come on, Braiden.
Yeah.
You can do this. So,
and like, I'm sure you can, it's kind of the sense of storytelling, or like a movie. Like if you watch the one that I just watched recently, which I absolutely love and there's a lot of controversy around, is Lilo and Stitch.
oh yeah.
The moral of the story is you don't leave family behind. With that, do I really see myself as a character cartoon and having Stitch come up to me that's like an alien? And no. But it's like my thought process, and again, I'm happy to be corrected, but like men and women go through differences, of course. We have different bodies, different ways of being, different challenges.
Yeah.
But the moral of no matter who you are, what sex you are, there's going to be opinions around what you do.
Oh, yes.
And we got to break through.
Yeah, absolutely.
And everybody can, just like you.
Yeah. And knowing when to just like take a step back and just observe yourself, right? Like we live in a world of distraction where there's just so much distraction that a lot of people, I'm like, oh, wait, who am I? What am I doing? Why am I doing this? And to take a second every single day to really ask yourself, right? Like, okay, am I where I want to be? Am I right where I'm supposed to, live life? And am I surrounding myself with people who build me up? And, because you don't want to be like this sinking savior either, right? Like my mom has always been somebody who just does so much for everybody else. And it's been a learning lesson for me in a lot of ways to keep myself in check in not doing that, because it hasn't served her. It's great to be in service, and, service is the highest form of love, but
Absolutely.
Not if you're giving of yourself to the point where there's nothing left for you, right? So it's like, who are the 3 most important people in your life? And if your name isn't the first one, then I got to put myself in check, and I got to remember that, because if I'm not okay, then I'm no use to anybody else.
Absolutely. So you're a mom, you're an entrepreneur, I'm sure you're working on a lot outside of that, hobbies. You're trying to build yourself up, build your relationships up. How do you find alignment with all of that, still ensuring that you go in the right direction?
Oh, I would say alignment is a tricky thing. And it's something that is like a moment to moment, hour to hour base, right? And the second that I'm out of alignment, it's taking the opportunity to put myself back in, right? Not allowing other people's judgments or fixed beliefs to have impact on me. That can be really hard too, being somebody who cares so much about people. I would say that yoga is a huge tool, and meditation and having the ability to just like be with myself and connect with myself is where I find the most alignment.
And keep it simple, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's yoga, there's stretching, there's working out, there's journaling, there's meditation, there's red light therapy, find your thing.
Yeah.
It sounds like you found yours. And when you found it, find it. Why not just keep going at it? Because it works for you.
Yeah. And I feel like it changes too, right? Like I have 4 beautiful kids that I'm raising, and we have 3 older daughters. But the 4 kids it's demanding. And so being really able to say no, I was even talking to my husband about this earlier. I'm like, it's so hard to say no at times, but I have to. You have to, because if not, there's just not going to be anything left in regards to who I am as a person and what my goals and what I'm trying to accomplish are. So I love my kids, and my kids and my husband are my number one priority in regards to just my purpose, right? That's where I find a lot of joy in regards to being a human being in and of itself, right? And then naked pineapple and everything else is just a bonus.
Absolutely. I can't speak to the kid part, but I can speak to the self and relationship part and business. But if you want to live a good life, make it hard for the future to be easy. If you want to live a hard life, make it easy, and then it'll be hard. I'm sure that's with kids, right? Sometimes you have to make the hard decisions to ultimately set them up for success. Even though sometimes
on an hourly basis.
Sometimes I'm sure it's like, I just want to give you an iPad and just do my own thing. And then sometimes that might be necessary. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, our kids are definitely into sports and they're doing great with friends and school. And we do a lot as a family and it's fun. And we're a blended family. So there's a lot of moving parts in our life and it's really challenging to keep up with all of it for sure. And when I don't feel like I can like even breathe is when I fall out of alignment. So it's having the ability to just be still, go into my garden, prune my peonies. Like those are the simple things in life that are really important to me. Cause without that, I'm just like a chicken with my head cut off.
I've definitely experienced that, but it's the little things. Again, keeping it simple, just like skincare. You look forward to going and pruning your peonies. That's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So going back to skin health, right? How can somebody, one, remain truly authentic to themselves while using products like Naked Pineapple to enhance their beauty?
You know, affirmations are a lot of what's coming to my mind right now. I feel like that's what's great about having some sort of routine, right? Is the ability to have positive self-talk, to really just know that you're beautiful, know that you're worthy, know that it's okay to not be okay at times, and to just have those certain rituals that bring you peace and bring you self-care and bring you safety, really. So I feel like having a good skincare routine is a great way to start a good self-care regimen. And then you can kind of build from that, right? Like taking a bath or going for a walk but skincare is really like taking a shower. It's the first thing you do in the morning and it's the last thing you do at night. So
what came to mind, I had a vision when I was saying that. Using Naked Pineapple, I'm like saying my affirmations in the morning, like pulling those two together.
Yeah.
I'm making myself beautiful on the inside and out.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's important, because I am guilty of being a multitasker and I'm doing 100 things at the same time. And that's not good at times, right? I need to really just like slow down and be intentional with what I'm doing. And even right now, it's a good reminder, to just like not be so stressed out about all my how-tos or how am I going to do this but just take a moment for myself and not worry about all the other things that are stacking up. But
absolutely. So bring us through some of the basics. Like how can an entrepreneur keep working hard while having beautiful skin? What can their routine be on a skin-to-skin basis to make sure they're confident?
One of my biggest weapons is waking up early. I wake up super early every day, no matter what. Like even if it's Sunday, I wake up early and I have time with myself and I meditate and I have my skincare and I drink my water and my coffee and all of those little things that, again, are just those simple things. But I feel like our phones can be super detrimental to us anymore, to where it's like the first thing that most people do. Sure. And it's hard because we live in a world where social media is demanded. I mean, you have to have social media in regards to being successful, really. I mean, maybe you don't, but in my experience of, creating a new brand, I don't know how I would create a brand without social media. So
brand's everything. People really rely on brands in this modern day age of connection. I mean, we talked about people, right? Connection.
Yeah. And asking for assistance too, like I know that I cannot do this alone. I am not about to even pretend that I can tell you that I can do all of this by myself. So I would say leaning into your people and your tribe and delegating and making sure that, you're taking care of yourself and asking for assistance when needed. And I also think being patient and giving yourself grace is huge. We kind of have this microwave mentality of like, I need it now, I need it now. And it's not reality. Like that's not real life, like anything worth getting is, it's going to take time and energy and nurturing and all of those different things. So
yeah, you can't take the elevator in life.
yeah.
That's why most people that win the lottery become more poor or just as poor than they were within 5 years.
Yeah. And consistency. I would say like consistency is key when being an entrepreneur. Like expectation is big, so like let go of all the expectations and just lean in wholeheartedly and do your best and be vulnerable, ask for guidance, learn, grow, like be okay with being uncomfortable. But consistency has been a discipline of mine that I feel like I've always just naturally had.
Absolutely.
And I don't necessarily know where that came from. I've just been a very consistent person, and if something needs to be done, just do it. I think a lot of people can be very like, they are procrastinators, in regards to wanting to achieve something, but getting overwhelmed and then not knowing how, and then not knowing how to just take that first step. So take the first step, even if it's uncomfortable and you don't know what you're doing, at least you're, failing forward.
Absolutely. Take the first step. I'll shout out Mel Robbins, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have you heard of this?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Count down, because even from a kid, right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the rocket ship goes up into space. Your brain psychologically thinks that something will happen when you count down, not up, because there's always more that you can count up. So if you know that you need to wake up in the morning, your alarm goes off, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
If you need to make a sales call and you're really uncomfortable and you're anxious, you're stressed, you don't know what's going to happen, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, make that call.
Yeah. I love Mel Robbins, her new book, Letting Go.
Let Them Theory.
Oh, Let Them Theory.
We're reading that together right now.
It's so good. It's really good. And it's a good reminder of, just don't take life so seriously too. Like when you have an opportunity to laugh or cry, like laugh. It's okay.
You need to laugh.
Yeah.
You need to have fun. If you're not the reality is, if you're not enjoying the journey, you're not going to enjoy the final result.
Yeah. And you've missed it. Like you've completely missed it if you're not enjoying it. And again, like my husband and I are both we live these packed lives. I mean, we have so much beautiful things happening, and it's also a lot of work, it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of work and raising kids. And sometimes he and I just look at each other and laugh, and we're just like, this is a crazy, wild ride.
We lived today. We got through it.
Barely.
I'm sure there are many days like that with 7 kids. Being a blended family is fun though too. I experienced that, and it has its pros and cons, right?
Yeah.
From afar, I've seen, like I saw you go to a personal development with Keaton.
Yeah.
With your like being intentional, being present, doing the things that grow, because naturally as you and your husband come together, you're just going to build a stronger family. Yeah. And I know you know that. That's why you're doing your thing.
Absolutely. And my husband is one of the most incredible people, and he's been somebody who has pushed me to grow and to become more. And it's hard when you outgrow people, right? Like, so it's fun to have a husband who challenges me, and I want to punch him in the face sometimes.
And that's okay too. Not the punching actually, but wanting to.
He's awesome. We really do challenge each other to grow. And I think that's really important too, right? Is who you surround yourself with and your spouse. And our marriage is our most important, highest priority, because when that's solid, then everything else just falls into place.
Absolutely. So let's talk a bit about skincare. If somebody's never been in skincare before, they're looking to, maybe it's not a confidence thing. Maybe it's I just want to present myself more. Maybe it is a confidence thing. Like I really want to work on my skin so that I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
What are the best steps to take to master your skin?
I would say skincare can be really simple, and people overcomplicate the crap out of it. but really just taking your vitamins, making sure your gut health is super healthy, drinking enough water, and then having good, consistent skincare regimen. The beautiful thing about Naked Pineapple is the pineapple enzymes are in all of the products, which is bromelain, which naturally exfoliate your skin. So as a human being, every 21 to 28 days, our skin sloughs. And in that cellular turnover process, as we age, it gets slower. And that's what starts to age us and make our skin dull or saggy. And we start to lose like the collagen elasticity in our skin. So using good, healthy skincare products that help to speed up that cellular process is magical. So that's what we've done in all of the Naked Pineapple products is we have the enzymes that naturally exfoliate your skin so that the nutrients and the collagen and the hyaluronic acid and all the vitamins can actually absorb properly into your skin. So that's really what I have noticed of why Naked Pineapple has been working and people have been getting their results is because it's naturally exfoliating that dead skin. Because if you have all this buildup of dead skin on the surface of your skin, nothing can penetrate. It's just absorbing, all the dead skin is absorbing all those nutrients. So
you just made it fun though. Like I'm a man, so I haven't been in this world of Wheelhouse. I'm starting to be more intentional about it. But Naked Pineapple is just fun.
It is fun. It is so much fun. And it's been a great product to use for people too, because so much isn't fun to use, right? Like it smells or it stinks. And I don't even know what some of the new things that people are using, like salmon sperm on your face. I mean, that doesn't sound very fun to me, but we do it. We all do it. We're all guilty of it. Or vampire facials. I mean, yeah, there's so many things that we do, right? So Naked Pineapple is so luxurious. It smells amazing. It absorbs properly. You get a great result from it. You feel glowy, radiant, and that's really, I mean, what more do you want?
I want it to smell good. I don't want to be having something on my face where I'm just like, oh, what did I just put on my face?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what else is fun about Naked Pineapple is it's fun to refer people to it because you know they're going to love it. Right? Like, sure. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Oh, I love it. You try it. Like, you're going to love it. And everybody does. Everybody loves it. And so that's what's been really fun too, is it's really easy to refer people to it because it's a great product to use that makes you feel good.
Absolutely. So if somebody's just hearing about Naked Pineapple, do they have to jump into all 5 of your products, or how can they best use your product to get the best result?
Yeah. So, it was interesting trying to decide what products I was going to start with. And so we have our basic 3 products, that starter kit, cleanser, serum, cream. Like that is your basic starter kit. Like those are the basics of skincare that anybody can use and they're going to benefit from it, right? And then I have my Tropical Repair Oil, which is more of like a luxury product, which is really good for like after shaving. It's great for beards. It's really good for even your body, your hair. So that's kind of, and especially living in Utah, right? Like we're so dry here. So I love the oil. And then the bronzer is awesome because it really does it assists with acclimating to your skin. So when it comes out, it's kind of scary. You're like, oh my gosh, this looks kind of scary, but it's actually really, really beautiful when you rub it in. It doesn't get all over your clothes and it's not a self-tanner. It's just gives you a nice healthy glow. And it has ingredients in it that are actually like Botox in a jar that smooth fine lines and wrinkles. So it kind of acts more like a primer. So
that's so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, might as well jump into it, right? I don't quite have the beard yet, but maybe someday.
Yeah, but we'll get there. You shave, right? So
absolutely.
You could use the oil after you shave. And so many men actually have loved the product. My husband's in a men's group called We Are the They. And so all of his, WAP buddies have used the skincare and they've just loved it.
Good. That's such a fun community. Yeah. I know a lot of people in that community, and what a beautiful thing, right? Men coming together and being the best self and using face enhancers.
Yeah.
Men can do it too.
Oh, yes. I think it's so important for, men to have those same rituals, right? Like, You want to make sure that you're taking care of your skin and building those rituals in and of itself. And men age too. So
if you didn't know, I've definitely realized that too. I know I'm young, but things change.
Yeah. And we've had a great teenager program too. So many teenagers have been loving it. I mean, even my little 10-year-old uses naked pineapple because it really is good for sensitive skin. It's good for rosacea. It's good for acne. So it's been an awesome product for young kids too.
I love that. So I want to talk further about what's to come. Like, what are you learning right now to take naked pineapple to the next level?
I would say for the most part, it's been an opportunity to really meet such incredible people and elevate us to the next level. So I believe that we'll just continue to grow and be in cute little surf shops. And, we have some contracts building with retail stores, and, the influencer world is an incredible way to really build a brand. And we're on Amazon, which is so nice. When I started Naked Pineapple, that was my number one priority, was like, we need to make sure it's on Amazon because, that's King Kong. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And it makes it easy, right? It's not just, yes, we have the website. Yes, we have retail. But wherever you're at, you can get us.
Yeah. And, I really do want to make a difference in the world. So when I started Naked Pineapple, it is all about community and connection and self-care, right? But I love just the humanitarian world and being able to do more like collaborations with things like that and collab with other companies and brands. That we can be so creative in our world now. You can have like Coke and deodorant and they're just like, oh my gosh, what a cool collab. And this is the greatest commercial ever, right? So I'm excited to have more opportunities to collab with like-minded brands.
It's important. And again, a brand can't do everything. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, maybe like Amazon, they sell everything, but they're not there. There's a reason that they're not making all of these products.
Right.
When you can do something very well and you love it, why not collaborate with other people doing the same thing?
Yes. We're actually having a really fun summer social event on June 19th. Where we're doing just a networking event for, like-minded individuals to come together and, share your gifts, your talents, your business, like what you want to add value to other businesses. And I mean, really, it's all about just referrals and, bringing people together to create your story, to create your message, to create your success, right? So it's been really fun. So it's at our studio. So we have Black Match Studio, and that's really been a fun way to bring people together and do photo shoots and our model program. And so it's been
That's
awesome.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
And to talk about collaboration, the reason why I am where I am at today, which I'm just getting started, is because of collaborations.
Yeah.
This podcast is the second best decision. Marrying her was the first.
Oh, cute.
The podcast has changed my life. And I'm sure with you, like your brand is, you realize that when you collaborated with XYZ, it changed something for you. Mm-hmm. And you just often, like times in my industry where you connect with another coach, where maybe they're specializing in something completely different than me. And we come together, we have an amazing conversation, sometimes on the podcast and sometimes off.
Yeah.
That we make a bigger impact together.
Absolutely. Because it just makes you're touching that many more lives, right? So I love that. And
Absolutely.
I love this podcast and what you've been creating. And I mean, here we are in just a little, South Jordan, Riverton, Utah. And it's funny sometimes to think about how we're just like this speck of sand in this giant universe. And sometimes we're so hard on ourselves. And if you just have that perspective of like, oh my gosh, like it's okay. Don't be so hard on yourself. Like just keep doing what you're doing and the universe has you,
Yeah. Enjoy the life that you have and build the relationships. It will be the best thing for you. One of the main reasons I'm stoked for the podcast is I will have kids at some point.
Yeah.
And I'm just so glad that I get to have you over for dinner and your husband someday and you get to teach my kids about skincare and all the fun things. And then they don't need to hear it from dad, take care of your skin. They're going to listen to Kristi, and it's going to be fun, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
People are everything. And I'm sure you see that with your kids too, that these people and the people you collaborate with, they're amazing people. And naturally you get to sprinkle that up on your kids.
It's been so fun to have our kids, and, you know, they've been so proud of Naked Pineapple, and all their friends are talking about it. And it's been a really fun creation thus far. And so I'm really excited to just continue to see where it goes and where it takes us. And, you know, our kids just get to be a part of it along the way. So that's been really rewarding.
Absolutely. I've loved watching your journey from afar. With that, just thank you for creating what you have. You are not just putting out an amazing product into the world. You really are helping people become their true beauty, their own sense of true beauty, right? And
absolutely,
your product enhances that, which I love. With that, as we come to an end, I have a couple of quick questions for you.
Yeah.
One is for the entrepreneurs out there in the world looking to make a difference in their own way, but remaining authentic to themselves. What would be your last piece of advice for them be?
You know, I would really have to say to take time away from the grind and the build, and remembering to do like the self-care. And even if it's, you know, one weekend where you're just not working, like it can't always, as entrepreneurs, we don't ever stop. So I think it's really important to just stop and take a moment of just stillness and take care of yourself and get to just kind of learn yourself again and ask yourself the question of like, why am I doing this? But it takes time, it takes effort to actually stop and ask ourselves that, because as entrepreneurs, we're just like, go, 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 and do more and do more. And it gets exhausting. So I would say stop and listen.
And I think that's been a lesson that you have learned, but also it ties everything into this podcast, right? Slow down.
Yeah.
Keep things simple. Enjoy the journey. Take care of yourself. Drink water. Go to sleep early. Wake up early. Really, that's entrepreneurship in itself.
Yeah, and discipline. I mean, discipline is everything. Yeah.
Don't give up. Your purpose will be tough. It will get hard at times. It's not destined to be easy.
Yeah. And I would say stay consistent, right? Because it's okay. Sometimes I think people need to know when to stop. Like, just because we have ideas, which all entrepreneurs do, it's okay if it's not the right one, you know, and it's okay to stop and pivot and kind of listen to where the world is guiding you to go. You know what I mean? Like, my husband is one that he has a million ideas, and I sometimes have to stop him and be like, okay, hold on. Is this like you're just talking out loud, or is this something that we're going to execute? So it's really deciphering, you know, what that is, because it can be overwhelming to be so creative at times.
And I love the word pivot, right? Even in any industry that we're in, anybody that's listening to this, your idea might be good, but the way you're executing it may not be effective.
Yeah.
Pivot. You can keep doing the same thing, just going in a different way.
Right. Yeah.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah. And it's just important.
Don't quit.
Well, and we are constantly evolving. So what was working even a couple months ago, it might not be working anymore.
Not at all. Did everybody else see how fast AI came out?
Yeah, exactly.
That changed things in an instant. I mean, we saw, this might be wrong, but from my knowledge, one of the quickest billionaires be built within a very short period of time. Because ChatGPT, how am I losing that word? They used to be a nonprofit. When they first started, they were a nonprofit bringing in no income.
Wow.
And they switched to a paid subscription, and he was practically a billionaire.
Interesting.
In a crazy amount of time. Huh. So genius of today, that's for sure.
Yeah, I love that.
And you're right, it doesn't have to be that fast for everybody. The person that created ChatGPT has a plethora of a resume of working on things before that.
Yeah.
So enjoy the journey. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
And just be resilient.
Yeah.
With that, what is your definition of an authentic life?
My definition of an authentic life is really honoring the person that you were born to be. Don't try to be anybody else. Don't try to fit in, and really just listening and getting to know like who your soul is, who your heart is, what resonates with you. And there's a difference, right? There's a difference between following the path and knowing that it's not correct, or having a message just hit your chest and it falls on the floor, compared to something that really resonates with you. And so it's really having the ability to know who you are so that you can make choices based on when things just really resonate with you.
Yeah, when you know who you are and what you're looking to become and what you were looking to achieve, decision making becomes easy.
Yeah, and building that confidence so that, you don't have pressure or peer pressure from the world or parents or friends or kids even, I mean, I have to be a really strong adult for just my children, because they can sway me really easily. And so if I don't know who I am, my children will walk all over me. And it's hard, right? Because knowing who I am takes effort and work and time and energy, and it's important.
And in turn to that, you build your kids up to be stronger.
Oh, heck yeah.
They have their choices, right? They still need to make their choices.
Yes.
It wasn't my mom's choice for me to get into drugs at a young age. But point being is she was a role model, and that helped me get out. And when you're that rock or a rock for them in their lives, they'll always come back home.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing. With that in mind, how can they find your product? I know you mentioned Amazon. Where else can they go to find your product, to say the least?
So you can go to the website, nakedpineapple.co. You can go to Amazon, which is awesome. We're on TikTok and Instagram.
I love TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're on all of the platforms, and Perfect. We do have a lot of different events. We have a lot of different collabs. So Instagram is, our @NakedPineapple handle. And that's where you can find a lot of, the up and coming new things that we're doing with Naked Pineapple.
I love it. Thanks so much for coming on, Kristi. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. It's
Absolutely.
been a pleasure.
Have a good rest of your day, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us today on the Journey to Authenticity podcast. If you liked what both myself and Kristi had to say, be sure to subscribe and leave a review. This helps to ensure that we get the highest quality and most interesting guests to help you transform your journey. Also, while I have you here, if you're ready to create the transformation that we talked about, if you're really ready to go deep, build yourself, build those relationships, and build your life, and you want an extra pair of eyes to help you get there, be sure to go to Braiden Belnap or the link below, and we'll jump into a coaching session together. Have a good rest of your day, everybody.